If you are eating less than you used to, you're working out like crazy, and somehow you're still gaining weight after 40, eating less might not be the answer. And I learned this the hard way. When I turned 45, I was the heaviest I'd ever been, except for when I was pregnant. And I decided it was time to get the weight off. And I did. I lost 29 pounds. I restricted my calories big time. I was working out 6 days a week, 45-minute workouts, killing myself in the gym. But yet I still was 10 pounds from my goal weight and I couldn't get it to go off. Then, when I went back to a more sustainable lifestyle, working out 4 to 5 days a week, not crazy workouts, not tracking every single thing, eating more than 1,200 calories a day, slowly but surely over the course of 18 months, I put on about 18 pounds. So that's when I realized maybe the answer wasn't that I needed to try harder. Maybe I needed to understand what had changed. Your body at 45 isn't necessarily going to respond exactly the way it did at 25 or 35. Now, don't get me wrong, calories still matter. But during perimenopause, there are other things that are happening that can make weight management feel completely different. Your hormones are fluctuating. You're naturally becoming more vulnerable to losing muscle as we age. And if we're not actively working to preserve it, we're going to lose muscle. Sleep can change. We've got increase in stress. And that increase in stress can affect our eating, it can affect our energy, it can affect our recovery, and our activity levels can change without us even realizing it. And metabolic health and insulin sensitivity can change as well. So, simply telling a woman to eat less, move more, who's already struggling, you're completely missing the bigger picture. And by the way, if you're new here, I'm Christine Jennings. I'm a certified nurse midwife and mom of twins, and I've spent more than 21 years caring for women through every stage of life. And now I'm passionate about helping women over 40 understand what's happening to their bodies so they can feel like themselves again. And trust me, I've lived this one too. At 47, I finally started approaching my body differently. And instead of asking, how little can I eat? I started asking, what does my body actually need at this stage of my life? And there were three things that became really important for me. First is muscle. If you're constantly dieting, but you're not doing anything to protect and build muscle, you're missing a huge pace of healthy aging. And that's why I'm such a believer in strength training. Second is protein. Not because protein is like some magical weight loss food, it's not. But adequate protein is going to help you stay full longer. It's going to give your body the building blocks that it needs to maintain muscle, especially when you're losing weight. And third, I finally acknowledged that I needed more help. At 47, after looking at my options, I decided to use a GLP-1 GIP medication under medical supervision. And I want to be really clear here. I'm not saying every woman over 40 needs medication. I'm telling you what worked for me. Results may vary. Medications can have risks. They can have side effects. And whether one is appropriate for you is something you should discuss with a qualified healthcare provider who knows your medical history. But for me, it was a completely different experience from what I had done at 45. Once I started this medication, I lost 28 pounds in 7 months. I got down to 18% body fat, which is the lowest percent body fat I've ever been. And here's the part that's even more important to me. I wasn't trying to survive on as little food as possible while punishing myself with 6 workouts a week, an hour long. I was focusing on protein. I was focusing on strength training. I was preserving muscle. And I was using medication as one tool within a much bigger picture. That's a very different approach than just eat less. And if you're listening to this thinking, okay, but how do I know what options make sense for me? I've actually put together a free hormone and metabolism guide that walks you through the hormones, HRT, GLP-1s, peptide therapy, metabolic health. And don't leave this video because I have a few more things I want you to know. But when we're done, just comment guide below or send me a DM on Instagram with the word guide and I will send it to you. Now, here's what I really want women to understand. If you're 40 something and you're thinking, I swear I'm eating less than I used to, why am I still gaining weight? I don't want your immediate response to be, well, I guess I just need to eat even less. I want you to zoom out for a bit. How are you sleeping? How are you strength training? How are you eating? Are you getting in your protein? Are you getting in good nutrition? Are you active throughout the day, not just for your workout? Are you getting your steps in? And it doesn't necessarily have to be 10,000 steps a day, 8,000 steps a day, 6,000 steps a day. Make it a goal to every day increase your steps a little bit more. How are you managing stress? Are there symptoms or changes that you need to discuss with your healthcare provider? Because sometimes we get so focused on the number on the scale that we forget to look at the whole picture, the whole woman. Now, if you are considering medications like GLP-1s or GLP-1 GIP, have an informed conversation with a qualified provider who understands your medical history and can help you decide whether it's appropriate for you. Because the goal isn't simply to make the number on the scale smaller, the goal is to build a body that's strong, healthy, and sustainable for the next several decades. We're looking at longevity, right? We're looking at be able to get off the toilet by yourself, get on the floor with your grandkids, with your great grandkids, and be able to get back up off the floor. And that's the message I wish someone would have given me at 45. I didn't need more punishment. I didn't need another extreme diet. I needed to understand what was changing in my body and find an approach I could actually live with. So, if you'd like my free hormone and metabolism guide, comment guide below, send me a DM on Instagram with the word guide, and I'll send it over. And if you're a woman over 40 who's tired of being told to just eat less and try harder, subscribe for more. We're going to keep having honest conversations about hormones, metabolism, strength training, GLP-1s, perimenopause, healthy aging, like all the things, so you can understand your changing body and feel like yourself again. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.